We have our invocation. Let's bow our heads. The Heavenly Father, we thank you again for allowing us to be here today. We ask that you give us the guidance to handle the business of the city. We ask that you preside over this meeting in fairness and integrity. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
We move on to the meeting minutes. Council members, you had an opportunity to look at your meeting minutes. Are there any questions about the meeting minutes at this time? If there are no questions, we'll entertain a motion to approve the meeting minutes as presented. All those in favor, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? In the opinion of the chair, the ayes have it. I'm sorry, go ahead. Oh, it's been motioned and seconded. I'm sorry. All those in favor, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? In the opinion of the chair, the ayes have it. Motion carries. Thank you, Councilman Paul. We're now in unfinished business on our garbage rate. We're still in discussions about garbage rate, specifically how and what way our garbage rates are going to be impacted. For those who are maybe behind on the story, the landfill rates went up by $4,000 a month approximately. So normally we're paying about $6,500. Now we're paying about $10,000, which was not included in our budget. So for the last 2 months, we've been paying, we paid approximately almost $9,000 to $10,000 extra. So that being said, we're trying to look at some options to see how that's going to affect us long term. So we're still in that discussion. Item number 2, are there any other discussion about item number 1?
But I just know since, a couple months from now, the budget is coming up. And right now, I don't think the customer people, the last chart, raised the rate, but I think we can find some other avenues to cut. That's what I'm proposing, to cut, instead of raising the rates on the customer. That's all.
Well, like I said, it's nothing been, nothing that has been discussed. Well, nothing that has been finalized. Just kind of what it is. As far as cuts, we got probably one of the leanest budgets in the whole county. So not much area to cut, but if that's what the council says, then that's what we'll do. But like I said, that's why we're looking at all options to see what we need to do. Any other discussion on item number 1? Not moving the dumping trailer. I think we had 2. That item that should have been on the item, last agenda item. So we're gonna. There's nothing to report on that. We actually could remove that from unfinished business. Resolution for matching funds in the airport. Every year we have to do a resolution in order to send to the state to say that we'll match funds for any resolution or any grant that we receive. We're up for a grant this year to do resurfacing work at the airport. It does have a match, 10 to 20%, which will equal on our side probably $20,000 or $30,000. We haven't received word if we got it yet. Once we do get it, then we'll do it. But this is something that we do every year. So is there, and this is in order to receive the federal funds for the airport. So it's
just refresh my memory again on it. I can't remember it on the grant. Could it be in kind? Does that be on money?
I don't know.
Okay.
But you have a match that you gotta do. Last time that we researched, I don't think we did any in-kind on that grant. Depending on what it is, USDA does a lot of in-kind grants. EPA does some in-kind grants. I'm not sure what FAA is going to allow us to do. Federal Aviation Authority, I think that's what it's called. But if they do in-kind, then we can put that on the table.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Good question. So if no more questions, I'll get a motion to approve.
Make a motion to approve the matching fund for the airport.
Been moved to second. All those in favor? Oh, I'm sorry. Is there any other discussion about this item? Not move to a vote. All those in favor, let it be known by saying aye. Any opposed? Independent chair, ayes have it. The motion carries. Independent chair, ayes have it. The motion carries. Item number 2, we have a resolution from the Gardner family. I will read this one since it's new. Whereas the descendants of Jack and Marguerite, and Marguerite Garner are vastly close-knit and supportive family, wanted to ensure the family remain close for years to come. Whereas the Gardner family reunion of Alabama, which began as a vision from a small group in 1973, whereas a small group of family members have decided to have a family reunion on July 3 of that same year at the home of the late Eddie and Marithia Wyndham in Old Memphis, Alabama. And whereas the 6 following reunions were held at the Wyndham's home in 1980, Gardner decided to take the reunion on the road, whereas the next 42 reunions were held in different locations in many different states, including Indiana, Illinois, Michigan, Mississippi, Missouri, Florida, Georgia, Tennessee, Texas, New York, and Colorado, with the family members hosting. Whereas through each passing year, the Garner family continues to grow, as do the memories of days gone by, but the legacy that Jack and Margaret Garner is kept alive. Therefore, be it resolved that the Gardner family will be celebrating their 50th family reunion in Tuscaloosa, Alabama, July 13th through the 16th, 2023. Be it further resolved that the mayor and city council of the city of Aliceville hereby honor the Gardner family in their upcoming celebration. Signed this day, July 23rd. Is there a motion to approve the resolution? And again, we congratulate the Gardner family on their 50th family reunion.
Second that motion.
Been moved and second. All those in favor, is there any discussion? All those in favor, let it be known by saying aye. Any opposed? Independent chair, ayes have it, and the motion carries. Item number 3, the daycare RFQ. The city of Aliceville owns a property that was in the past utilized as a daycare. So currently, it's not being utilized as a daycare center. We know that that's one of the needs in our community. And so what we're doing is, in next week's paper, it'll be a request for qualifications for individuals that would like to do a public-private partnership with the city of Aliceville, specifically opening daycare. They can submit their qualifications, and then the mayor and council will decide which one best fits the public-private partnership relationship, and then move forward so that way we can utilize that facility to its fullest extent. The facility that we speak on is Old Joyful News area. So that's the gist of it. Any questions about that? It doesn't have to have a vote, it's just for information purposes.
So, I should have been at the meeting. So anyway, so it could be, would you say private or public?
It'll be a public-private partnership. The city owns the building,
Right.
so it would be a public-private partnership. And how that would look would be decided once those individuals put their request in to utilize the facility.
Okay. Okay, can you like? Okay. Well, great.
Any other questions? Good question. Great question. All right. Item number 4, sales tax. Currently our sales tax is the lowest in the county. Everyone else has 1 cent worth of sales tax coming in on their revenue, except for I believe Carrollton, but they have some other streams of revenue as well as being a county seat. Beaconsville has 2 cents from every dollar that goes to the city. Reform has 2 cents from every dollar that goes to the city. Gardner, 2 cents to the city. The city of Aliceville has 1 cent that comes to our city. So what that means is there's a discrepancy in how we receive our funds. So what the council is proposing is to, and this will be an ordinance that will have to go into our sales ordinance, sales tax ordinance 50, section 58, I think. And it will be a new section because there's not anything written currently, I think, on sales tax, except for the 1 cent, and half of that cent goes to, you know, go to me. It's not the half cent. That's-
Yeah,
Okay.
in a different fund
It goes, right, it goes.
for capital.
Right, for capital improvement. So what we're proposing is a 1 cent sales tax increase for the city of Aliceville. And that way we're able to continue to function. And then not only function well, but also have future projects that we'll be able to accomplish. At the end of the day, our budget is a shoestring budget, and we have about $5,000 on a good year once we lay out all our expenses and fees. So with that being said, it does have to sit on the agenda. It won't be voted on tonight. It will be, it will sit, so it won't go out for vote today. But it is something that we are putting on the table as mayor and council. Councilman, you got anything to say at this time?
Yeah. So, since we talking about the landfill raising their tax, they be, and well, I suggest that we go 2 cents. That was amount from the start, 2 cents. I know you said it, but what's the max can we go? We going one.
I'm sure there's probably a state statute that you can't go above something. But I haven't looked at that, but I think the 1 cent, you also want to look at the area that we serve. We don't want to be more of a burden than necessary to be able to move.
Because it's gonna be a difficult thing since Alabama with this grocery tax, we're not gonna see that money
Right.
anymore, and a lot of people in small town gonna suffer behind that. So that's why I'm saying it really gonna be when that grocery tax something this year.
I think towards the end of no, not this year. I think
No,
it's,
next year.
Next year.
Yeah, it is. Hey, it's gonna be tough road. So I would like to, we haven't done me, look into 2 cents.
Yeah, thank you, Councilman. There was no discussion at this time. Council. All right. Now we move on to dumpster day. One of the things that we've been dealing with is trying to revamp the way we collect our non-trash sanitation, our non-residential trash, normal trash that's bad. One of the ideas that is being proposed is that we have a dumpster day. What is a dumpster day? A dumpster day would be sometime we would advertise for a couple of weeks, so that way the community would know. And there would be a day which, if you had large trash like tires or a bed frame or a mattress or something to put inside of that large container that is probably half the size of this room. And then this will be open to Aliceville residents only. So they will have to present their identification. It will be behind some type of lock fence. And then that way, once we complete it, we would close that fence and then allow that to be picked up. This is just done as a temporary measure to kind of provide some relief. It's something that we haven't done before. And there may be some limits on what you can put inside. We will advertise that, such as paint, such as what other things, Mr. Cruz?
Paint, can you put any gasoline buckets that has fuel or anything in it? Anything like that has to go to waste management across the river.
So the things that we will not allow, we will have it posted so that way people know. Tuscaloosa does something similar. I think they do like a hazardous waste day. It's not for hazardous waste. It's just for normal waste if you want to bring it to the site. And then that way we can help our residents as well as try to expedite getting some of this stuff back. But that would require, so that's something that's outside of the normal budget, that would require council approval. So we are up for discussion at this time about that from the council.
Well, I give it a thumbs up. That's me. That's my opinion.
Is there a motion on the floor?
I second that motion.
Then moving second. All those in favor, let it be known by saying aye. Any opposed? Any chair, the ayes have it. The motion carries. Item number 6, grand opening for Watley Health Services. Tomorrow at 12. Again, tomorrow at 12 p.m. Watley Health Services will be opening. I'm excited about it. It's almost a dream come true. Some health care coming, additional health care, because there's nothing against Dr. Parker's office. There's nothing against Dr. Robbins' office. But if you go over there, if you sit in Aliceville City Hall for any amount of time and look on those streets from Monday through Friday, or Monday through Thursday, they close on Friday, then you will see their office is full. And so that this will provide some relief, not just for Aliceville, but also for people in Greene County, on this side, Sumter County that's on this side that may want to come to Aliceville. So I think this is wonderful for the city of Aliceville, and hopefully it's the start of some new things to improve our community and the situation that we're in. So that being said, I just want to put that out. Is there any comments on that?
It's gonna benefit all those rural communities and surrounding areas. It's gonna be a plus for all the rural communities in the surrounding areas.
Absolutely. That's it. 12 o'clock, if you can be there. It'll be good for you to be there. We appreciate it. There's nothing else. Move on to item number 7. And this is something, again, that's going to call for council action. And it's something that I just found yesterday after ride with Mr. Prue across town and on some city business. We looked on the hill. And this is in District 3. District 3 is called 7th. Is that 7th?
7th place.
7th place. 7th place is once you pass almost midway, you pass midway through the hill, and that right turn where you would turn back, that kind of loops around. You got one way in and one way out. You know what I'm talking about? Right. You got a house that's rolled up on the left, then you got a house on the right side, and then you got a blue house that's covered up in the back there. So we're having the problem of people dumping. Y'all know what I'm talking about? Okay. We're having a problem with people dumping. The residents pick trash up. The city has picked trash up back there, and as soon as we pick it up, it gets dumped again. So what's being proposed is the area past Mr. Wilder's home. Right when you get to Mr. Wilder's home, coming off just a little bit more from his fence, from his driveway, and then putting up a temporary or movable barricade on that side of the road, and then also a barricade on the loop coming in on the opposite side. So that way, the only traffic that comes in is to that property owner that's currently there. We did have to call the league to make sure that what we're doing was legal. We do have to notify the property owners that we are going to do it. We've already talked to one of the property owners, and he is great with it because it's something that will help him in dumping. But we also need to notify those property owners who don't have homes on the property, but still have property back there. So we're going to give it about 2 weeks or so. And that the proposal is to, once we get those letters out and we don't receive any negative feedback or concerns that we need to change direction, then we'll move forward with that process. But I know this is new, but this, again, it just came up yesterday. So Is there any questions about that from the council?
Yeah, what set it off yesterday for the come up? I mean, it's like why you said come up, and I was thinking about it already.
No, nobody was complaining about it. It just, I was in another neighborhood in another area, not in Aliceville, not even in Alabama, and thought and saw that. And then when I rode around yesterday, I saw that more trash had been dumped, and I knew we had just picked up some trash back there. And it took both things clicked, so it just kind of go. And then I called, like I said, talked to the property owner yesterday. And he's, it's something that he would like. And then also, the city of Northport. The city of Northport did this with a road that was abandoned, and that was Attorney General's opinion that was written on. So that's when it kind of mentioned. Actually, something happened in Brandage, Alabama, and then that's the case law that they pulled from Northport on case law. So we're in good standing. We just got to notify the property owner if we do. Did I answer your question? Any other questions about that from the council?
So what happens if some of the other property owners doesn't want it? Because
So it's not a matter of if they say no, then we can't do it. It's more so putting them on notice that we are doing it. We're still provide them access to the road. It's not going to be like a metal something broad stuck in the road where nobody can go by there. We'll still give property owners access, but there's a road that's up there currently that's already blocked off that used to tie in to Elm Street. I think used to tie into Elm Street. But it's blocked off. There's some homes back there, there's some cars and stuff. I rode, I took the cable down and rode it. So they'll still have access. It just stops. What's the word I'm trying to use? It stops the dumping and going around in the circle. Right. Yeah. Dumping and other stuff that goes on. So that's the other side. So we can slow it down. Like I said, you'll never stop everything, but if we see something that we can do, it's our job to kind of try to do it. That's a great question. Any other questions? All right, I entertain a motion to approve that section of 7th Avenue after let's do a 3-week notification for all our residents that are in that area, and then we'll post it as well, so that way when people drive and they don't get excited, say somebody don't put some up. Is there a second? I'll say this is my idea of this. Any other discussion? Not all those in favor, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The opinion of the chair, aye, and the motion carries. And now on accounts payable, the bills as presented to you today. If there are no questions about the bills as presented, all those in favor of approving the bills as presented, let it be known by saying aye. In the opinion of the chair, the ayes have it. The motion carries. Chief Jones, you got anything, sir? Okay. We do have something next week. You want to tell them about next week? Okay. 20. Don't worry about 10. Okay. So we better have some more police out there. So just be ready. Court is tomorrow. so be ready. Well, yeah, court is tomorrow. Mr. Prude, do you have anything in the street department?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Just good evening,
Good
Mayor
evening.
Council.
Yeah.
Great things are still happening in Aliceville. Lights been off at the park for up 10 years. We have lights at the park now.
Right.
You have street lights. You go down, you'll be able to see a whole lot better. And hopefully, it's going to deter some mischievous play that's been going on down there.
So thank you for that update, definitely. And also we've fixed our gates. We had got some quotes on that gate, probably $15,000, $20,000 a piece. I don't know if y'all remember last time. But through our ingenuity, we were able to fix the gates. So we'll be closing those gates at nighttime now. And we open it anymore. So but the street lights I was excited about because it's been quite some time since we've had lights at the street park. I mean at the city park. And it's not the incandescent lights. Alabama Power is now responsible for those lights. So we don't even have to worry about them. Previously, we were responsible. In the past, they didn't want to accept responsibility. But now Alabama Power is responsible for those lights. So now all we gotta do is pick up the phone and call them. Thank you for that report, fire department. All right. Chamber of Commerce on July 20th at 6 o'clock. They'll be showing the Lion King at the Aliceville amphitheater, not amphitheater, at the theater. So it's free for anybody who wants to come in. They do have air conditioning in them, so there will be 70 sessions. But it's something that, in conjunction with the Chamber of Commerce, this time the Chamber of Commerce had the natural gas department sponsor it. The city will be looking to sponsor as well, and it's just something to try to get some people involved with other things outside of just the normal chamber stuff. So, is there any questions about the Chamber of Commerce? All right. Museum report. We don't have any on the museum. Mr. Thornburg, did you have something about the museum or something else?
Well, it's related to the museum, but I'm not speaking for the museum.
Okay, we'll wait till after then, I guess. And then there's no museum report. We'll have our unscheduled public appearances. So since you go ahead, since you got this is you.
That's me.
Okay, all right.
That's you.
Right, it's us.
Okay, I'll stand up. We've got quite a bit to share.
Well, hold on. If you got a bit to shit, you gonna be a while.
Not too long, but
Not too long. Well, hold on. Let me let these ladies
Okay,
speak.
sure. yeah, well, that's good.
If y'all had anything, did y'all have something?
Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon.
Well, as you know, I was here previous to the last meeting. I haven't heard anything. No one got in touch with me, and I want to know what are you all doing about the situation of the concession stand? I think we need to take matters in our hands.
Yes, ma'am. I think the last question that we had was trying to get some kind of receipts or something to show how much you had in there, so that way we could determine the value and then give a amount to you corresponding to that. As I know that you gave a number, I think the number was $2,000 that you gave,
25.
$2,500 you gave, but we need to see some kind of receipt because we're responsible for giving out taxpayer dollars. So if we just write you a check for $2,500 because you said that you lost $2,500, then everybody else gonna lose some that have some at part, and they gonna say, "Well, I had that." So I don't think you're a liar, but we also gotta have some on record for us. So if you got something to present to us, then we can, you can, and it don't have to be today. Like I said, we the city of Aliceville, we ain't going nowhere, and we want to do right by whatever it is. So the council body votes to do that, and that's what we gonna do. So you know what I'm saying, or whatever portion that is that the council body sees fit. But it's not on the back burner. We just waiting on something we can hold in our hand, so that way we can present it, and that way when we write the check, we can have a reason.
What up? Like my speaker, I been had it. It was at my house. So you want me to just go to Sam's and how you want me to do about it receipt? Because they come from my house.
Give me after the meeting. I don't know how we do that. I'm gonna give you cheap receipts. I have no idea. So let me find out and see what we need to do on that. Because I know they write up the reports, so they'll have a better understanding of it.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, now, you said it, I did.
Yes, ma'am.
Now, if our receipts are more than what we asked for, we're looking for that, okay?
Okay, and that's fine. You can ask.
Oh, because
And we have-
it is.
But I know you sold some of the stuff too now.
Yes,
So you know what
sir.
I'm saying? So we gonna work the balance. We ain't trying to cheat you. We wanna make sure we do right by you. But you know what I'm saying, we wanna see something to see for I said that. Out of your mouth, you say about 2,500. So that's what we looking for. If it's that, then that's fine, and we'll make a determination. We'll go from there. I ain't gonna lie to you.
I got
So when we get the receipt in to y'all tomorrow, how long would it take?
It's gonna take 2 weeks, so we're not gonna vote again until
Okay.
at least 2 weeks. Because
Okay.
the council will have to meet, discuss, and then we have to do it at a formal council meeting. So we can't do it. I wouldn't want to do that outside of a council meeting. Did that answer your question, Ms. Ball?
Yeah,
Councilman Ball.
I mean, I know we got it going around the mulberry bush. Um, But, kind of going around the mulberry bush, it was my understanding that they did do investigation on this. So, I mean, we just kind of looking over, you know, if whoever it was that did this, you know, I'm just saying, you know what I'm saying? Then, I mean, there ought to be some responsibility on their end, per se, as, you know, when you got the city, and, I mean, this.
Well, that's a good question, legitimate question. As far as on the investigative side, we don't have anything conclusive that says one person did this, unless since me and Chief talked about it. Unless something new has come up since then that said they Terrence the one that took it out of the storage shed. So
That's why the responsibility is falling back on.
so that's one of the question marks that's there. Really, in essence, it doesn't have to, but in an effort to try to make amends or do the right thing or whatever, however you want to put it down. That's what we'll do in this instance. Now, in future reference, and we've already talked about this with whoever gets it the next time, it's gonna be a clause in there that say you might have insurance for your stuff, and we're not responsible for anything that gets lost or stolen out of them. And then that way we ain't got to do this no more. You know what I'm saying? But saying all that to say there's gonna be we're gonna put some things in place so that way in the future we don't have this time we didn't have anything in place. And you know what I'm saying, now if the council decides to go a different way, I can't make that decision solely. That's a group decision, and that would have to be voted on, and then you know go from there. Yeah, something else.
Yeah, by this, that wasn't the first time. When we called them address, the first time someone took something out of there, I feel if something would have happened then, it wouldn't have did the second time. Because the second time, I felt they got comfortable and they took the whole possession thing.
Well, the first time that it happened, not to get too deep into the situation,
Yeah,
the first time it happened, it was a box of airheads.
yeah, but we addressed it.
And you addressed it to,
Yeah.
no, you addressed it to me.
Yeah.
And then I don't know if you came to the council or not, but, and you may have, I don't know, but I remember. But, out of my own money, I paid it to say, hey, if it was one of us, then that's fine. Since that time, from what I understand, the locks have got changed from that point from the airhead incident to this incident. So that's why I wouldn't have correlated the two together, because the lock was different on the doors at the time. So that's the reason why, you know, and it was $20. And like I said, if that can help you, and I don't want the city to be hit on it. And I know it was bigger than that. It was more so, hey, they took something out of here, but we didn't know who it was.
Yeah.
And so we couldn't say, okay, this person did it or that person did it, because we investigated then. But in this case, it was more things that got taken, and that's why the police spoke. So, no, it's a lot, but we're gonna go ahead.
I don't want to hold the meeting up.
You good.
But to me, why would anyone else have to keep aside the ones that got the concession stand? I mean, they have no business in there, even for nothing. You know what I'm saying? So why would all the keys be out? Nobody should have had a key but me. Then I would know, you know. Nobody did it. Listen, I went in there and did it, or or somebody did break in there, which would have had evidence that someone broke in there. But keys was everywhere, which shouldn't have been.
Well, I mean, I think, if I can kind of, say something on that, I mean, that's just like saying that the mayor is kind of the one that, kind of runs this, day activity at the center of the city. But as, being part of the city, we have keys to, you know what I'm saying? We have keys to come in City Hall, too. So, I hate that it, had to happen. You know what I'm saying? And it shouldn't have happened, but we gotta look after, we gotta look after stuff. Gotta look after. And not saying you may have alcohol or anything up in there.
And you have to
You
go
get
in
what I'm
there,
saying?
you have to go in there and search.
That's what, you may have, you know what I'm saying? You may have alcohol or anything, so if I'm responsible for this building, and just say somebody come in and raid it or whatever,
Which they
then
did.
we gonna get, no, I'm saying, we gonna get held responsible for, like the situation is now. And like I said, all you gotta do, what he said, produce, your stuff, and then we'll rectify the situation.
Yeah, but you can discern. You could discern things. You know who would have drugs or alcohol in a place like that.
Well, I ain't being. We gonna take care of you.
Okay.
At the end of the day, we gonna take care of you. So don't even worry about it. I hope they kind of, like I said, but that's the best I got. You know what I'm saying? But that's go ahead, Ms. Carter.
I just been sitting back listening, and I've been hearing about this whole thing from day one.
Yes.
And for you to say you take responsibility because it's the city's, you're still putting the responsibility back on them. You saying because it's the city building, right? That you get to go in when you get ready, and it's your responsibility what goes on in that building. Am I correct?
And that's why he just said that we're gonna take care of it.
But at the end of the day, you're not taking care of it because now you're putting it back on them to show receipts from when they bought stuff 3 months ago.
That's if you go.
And you expect people to still have receipts?
If you go to Walmart,
I don't have my
you gonna
Walmart receipts.
You gonna show receipt, or you gonna have something, or you gonna get.
I don't.
Or you gonna get a
Do y'all have
gift
every
card.
receipt?
You gonna get a gift
Because
card
I
now,
know I bought stuff for them.
and you gonna get a gift card.
A gift card. What do you mean?
If you go back to Walmart without a receipt, you're not gonna just go in there without receipt and just
I
get
don't-
money back.
We're not one. What do you mean Walmart?
You
This is
the one
not
bought it.
Walmart.
You the one bought it up.
And if I lose something from Walmart, I can't take it back. So what are you
the
talking
one
about,
bought it up.
Walmart or the
And
receipt?
we basically said that we're gonna handle it. That she bring the receipt, she produced the receipt.
I just think they're getting a runaround.
No. I was told last week. I said,
Because
I'm back.
first y'all said that you would handle it even without the receipts. Because, and I heard it
yeah.
myself. And now here we are again
Well,
with the same.
I said it. In the end, if we broke the car, I don't have receipt for things. Last week,
Exactly.
I don't have things.
I just bought $400 some dollars from
what I'm
Walmart. Don't
saying,
have a receipt.
on the average,
Who said?
on the average.
All right, I'm gonna cut this because I'm gonna cut it because I don't want. We're gonna talk.
Yeah, we'll talk on that.
We're gonna talk after. If you want to come to the work session so we can discuss it in detail, then we will. But again, like I said, I'm a man of my word. I done said what we're gonna do, and like I said, we'll help. And if, like I said, if something else, if you ain't got it, then we'll work that. You ain't got no receipt for that speaker, but I told you we're gonna get with the chief, and we're gonna find out how much it was valued at, and then we're gonna try to go from there and get you and right to get you something. So we ain't trying to do nobody bad. It's a situation that's unfortunate, and we're trying to move forward from. Like I said, bad things happen all the time, but there's a lot of great things happening out as well. So I won't take away to be that we're gonna take care of you. Like I said it from my own mouth. Right, but I still gotta go through the council, right, in order to get it approved. So we'll go from there. Mr. Thornberg, You got 2 country minutes. Now you got 2 actual minutes. Go ahead. Come on, what you got?
Okay, well, this is positive. I hope, I hope this is, 6 months ago, I came to the council and to the mayor and bringing information to you in appreciation, really, that came from that. And I wanted to pass, these are in the library, but I wanted to make sure each of you have one of these because this relates to what I'm talking about. So when I came, I was concerned about that we honor World War II veterans as well as, you know, the people that are also honored in the museum. And what's grown out of that is they had this program called Ollie, which I presented at with 3 other people. And because I did that, I'm now being asked to join with Ollie and do a program up in Birmingham with guests. So many of you who are here can be guests. And it actually relates to what we were on initially with Ollie, because on Monday next week, I'm going to be on a television program with the gentleman whose church, his name is Chris Erskine. It's called the Movement Church in Birmingham. And I'm going to be giving a little nice plug for Aliceville, because that's where my Ollie experience started, and that's what they want to know about. Where this Black Belt Folk Roots Festival comes in is when I gave my presentation at the Ollie conference that we had over there in the new theater. One of the people that I talked about actually was involved. He was one of the World War II veterans that I talked about. And it just happens that it was he who brought the people, who brought the Black Belt Folk Roots Festival to this part of Alabama. And now we're in the 48th annual event of that. So it's history. And so these things tie together. And there's a real potential for things, positive things to happen in Aliceville with these events. And then one other event that has happened, I don't know if it's going to, but when I came the first time, I mentioned that there's a connection between your museum here and the World War II Museum down in New Orleans. And I've also been asked to give a proposal where that may come up too. So that's a huge opportunity for this community if it brings this history together. All the history. And it's not 2 histories.
Thanks.
And so
Thanks.
I'll stop at that point.
Well, thank you.
Just wanted to share with you.
Yes, sir. Thank you for presenting at the reenactment. I think it was well received, and thank you for this information and for putting that on the map. Any other unscheduled public appearances, comments at this time? Not, we'll move to our council members. Councilwoman Ball. Right. I just want to end by thanking everyone. I want to end by thanking everyone who attended the meeting yesterday. We had some council members that was able to come, that are able to watch. We had our chief, both our chiefs, chief fire chief and our police chief there. And it was probably about 200 other concerned citizens of Aliceville. And that was probably one of the most diverse meetings in Pickens County. I'm sorry, in Pickens County. It was one of the diverse meetings that I've been to in Pickens County when it was all people on one accord trying to make something positive happen in the community. We gave Mr. Allen an earful. I'm pretty sure he knows people in Pickens County ain't happy with him. But the takeaway was we still got work to do. And so the on 17, on the 17th. That's when that session is supposed to open up again. Once council member, not council member, representative, AJ McCampbell, I can't councilman, I'm sorry. AJ McCampbell comes in and gives us a detailed list of what he needs to do. We're gonna try to get people to come to Montgomery so that way they can see faces and put names to faces and stories in Aliceville, in Carrollton, in Gordo, and know that this hospital means something to us. So that being said, when you see the announcement go out on social media, please, ma'am, please, sir, go to Montgomery. Consider going, because that's gonna be real positive for our community. The session is gonna start on the 17th, but he's gonna call or text and let me know when, let all of us know when, they want to see those faces down there, and, we'll go from there. All right, that being said, take a motion to adjourn the meeting.
That's so moved.
It's been moved and second. All those in favor, let it be known by saying aye. Any opposed? Being aye, the chair is happy. Have a good night.